This is the topic that I had planned for today, or like one of them. We have a second topic that I'm gonna go into, but basically, I've noticed within my play, one of the problems that I've had recently is that a lot of the times I'll just start spraying just because I don't want to like make my aim better or something like that, or you don't realize that your aim is actually as bad as it is. So what a player will do is they'll just they will get most of their kills by just spraying, and then they don't realize that they have like an actual serious aim problem, right? So what I've kind of like encouraged people to do, or what I've done in the past, is that if you are getting a lot of kills that are not headshots, right, you should be aiming for the head most of the time. But if you're getting a large majority of your kills by only getting body shots, you might want to take like the time to actually load into the range and recognize that I might have like a serious problem with my game. Maybe I'm not as precise as I think I am. There's a lot of players that think that like, oh, I have like really good aim, but it's like in reality your aim might not actually be as good as you think. And this is what I've talked about before when I load into the shooting range, right? And I shoot these bots, and a lot of the times I'm not actually hitting the bots in the head, right? Notice right there, I'm missing a couple shots, right? When I'm going for these taps, I'm missing a lot of shots, and I'll have to correct, right? And obviously, this is a game where you're going to miss shots sometimes. In any FPS game, you're going to miss a lot of shots, right? This is going to happen. But a lot of these people are going into these training sessions where they'll just be like shooting and shooting and shooting, and they'll be like missing them. They'll be moving like quick, so they feel like I'm like landing a lot of shots right now. And I'll be like, okay, well, look at me like flicking between these targets, and I missed right there, but like I'm not putting too much attention to it. Like, oh, we're hitting targets like quickly, like it's all so fast. Look at that, I'm hitting a lot of targets, but I'm not very precise, right? If I slow down and I take my time to actually land these shots, I think this is gonna be a lot better for these players when they're loading into games, and they're loading into their ranked games, which is coming out tomorrow. And they're actually landing their shots, and they're actually being precise rather than convincing themselves that they're precise just because they're moving quickly, you know? A lot of people want to move quickly, and they want to feel like they have like high actions per minute. This is what I would relate it to like in StarCraft, right? A lot of people would click a lot, and it would get them like a lot of APM, right? And they'll load into a game like Valorant, and they'll realize, dude, I am missing a lot of shots, but just because I'm getting kills, I feel like my accuracy is good, right? Maybe your game sense is better than other players. Maybe there's like a different reasons that you're getting kills. But a lot of the times it's like, dude, my accuracy is not good. Like I'm not accurate right now. So that's what I'm realizing when I'm getting a lot of these kills from just spraying at people. When I'm getting a lot of my kills from like 4 body shots, I'm not actually hitting the players in the head. I'm just hitting them in the body, which is like, okay, like sometimes you're going to get like body shots like that, and that's what spraying is for. But I don't think that you should be full committing to every single spray that you make. Every single target that you see, a lot of people will just like start spraying at them, right? Like it's okay to see a target, go for a shot against them, and then recognize, oh, I missed that shot, or I messed that up, and like unpeak and just go for a repeak later, right? It's okay to see a target and fall back, right? So something I would like point out when you're peeking around a corner, right? I'm gonna spawn some bots, I hope. Okay, spawn bots. If I'm gonna peek around this corner, right, and I see my target, if I'm gonna take my shots and then I miss, I can unpeek. I don't need to full commit to that spray. And I think I see a lot of players, myself included, where I'll peek a target and I'll see them, and I'll just like full spray. I'll start crouching. I'll start like spraying to shoot them. And it's like, it'll probably get you killed more than often, right? Rather than doing that, what you could do alternatively, peek back and then come back around and go for those taps in the head, right? You could do this, or you could full commit to the spray and like hopefully you get them, right? But I think that a lot of people are probably, if I myself am having this problem, basically my mentality is there's probably a lot of other players having this problem. Where recently what I've been doing is I'll see a target and I'll just full commit to a spray, I'll die, and then I'll get upset over it. And it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, why did you think that it was going to turn out okay? You missed your first 6 shots, so you decided to all in and go after this guy. There's no shame in peeking that corner and just being like, oh, no, not this time, right? Okay, I'm going to back up. I'm going to go after this guy. I'm going to place the wall again for like visualization, right? Like, oh, I came around the corner. Oh, okay, I didn't kill the guy. That's okay. I can back up. I can. And then I can repeat this, especially if you have other teammates who are providing pressure, right? A lot of the times in this game, you're going to have a lot more value from just staying alive than you will if you just like try to full peek this guy. You try to get the trade on him. Even if you do get the trade, you see so many times when your teammate is in such a clutch freaking position. And you'll notice this when I'm playing a lot of the times. I'll be as Omen, and I have a common thing I'll do on Bind is I'll TP over to elbow, and I'll go behind them on B. And a common call out that I'll make in this position is, don't die, I am behind them. Which sounds like a weird call out. Obviously, nobody's ever trying to die, right? Nobody's ever like trying to die. But just like the reminder that like, hey, frickin' stay alive. Otherwise, my flank is so bad. if I am the last player alive and I am behind them, that doesn't do me any good, right? You want the pressure to be applied from 2 different positions, right? If I full peek and I try to like full trade this guy, even though I've already failed, I've already missed 6 shots on this freaking guy, or like 3, 4, 5 shots. I can just back up. That's a thing that you can do, right? You can back up, you can live to fight another day. But instead, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll freaking full peek, try to kill this guy, and I'll try to die. So if you have an accuracy problem, like I do, and you've identified it, you've said, oh, I am spraying a lot, I'm getting a lot of body shots on these guys. Maybe my aim isn't as good as I want it to be. what I would recommend, and what I do a lot of the times when I have this problem, is I'll load it into a practice range like this, and I will take my time shooting these guys. And I mentioned this a lot. If anybody's watching me do my aim training, a lot of the times I will slow myself down. If you are missing a lot on the bots when you're trying to shoot them in the head, you're taking it too quickly. You just need to slow yourself down. You need to be like, okay, I'm tapping these guys in the head. I'm getting those headshots. And do this in game as well. A lot of the times I'll go into game recognizing that I am spraying a lot and like that my aim isn't as good as I want it to be. And instead of like slowing myself down and being like, okay, we just need to focus on those headshots. We just need to focus on hitting my target. I'll just keep going, and I'll get more upset. I'll start playing more aggressively and less smart. I won't focus on my crosshair placement. I won't focus on my positioning or anything. I'll just do dumb stuff because I'm angry and I want to perform better. And it's like, you just need to calm yourself down. A lot of it's a mental game. Like, honestly, it's a mental. It's how you prepare yourself, and it's like it's all in the head, dude. It honestly is. Try to go into a pit and then choose 2 targets and try to flick the second one in the head. It's good practice. Very infrequently, though, do you encounter those situations where like that is your goal, right? A lot of this game is like built around like you peek the one target and you win that one engagement. Very infrequently do you have it like lined up where you're trying to flick between like 2 to 3 targets, right? So like I can do that, right? I can flick between 3 targets like pretty quickly. But like very infrequently in the game do you ever have those encounters where it's like, okay, 3 one taps, let's go, 1 2 3, you know, like it'll happen, and every now and then you'll be able to get it. But as far as like practicing goes, that's not going to be the situation that you'll be involved in a lot of the time. I wish there were maps that would really simulate these encounters that you'll have more in game, though, right? This will increase your aim overall, but very infrequently are you gonna have like lined up where like there's this many targets and you have to flick between like all of them, right? Like this. You're gonna get the most game sense from playing the game. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is when you are playing this game and you are doing this aim training, you also need to be consciously applying these skills within the game, right? You're slowing yourself down. You're going for those headshots. And when you're playing the game itself, you can't just be loading into game and throwing this all to the wind and just like not aiming for headshots. Like it's just full spraying all the time. I don't practice spraying when I'm in here very frequently. Sometimes I'll load in, or I'll go over to the wall, right, and I'll try to spray my gun. I have a marker in my hand, that's why my move is weird there. But like you try to practice your spraying, you try to get into like one spot and stuff, because you will spray in the game. You will actually spray, but very infrequently are you gonna be like sitting here and you go boom, 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 like between all the targets. I think it can be helpful for your for just training and stuff, and obviously some of this will convert, but like this isn't a normal situation within a game. For the record, by the way, a lot of the people who watch this kind of stuff, I'm not like a pro player by any means. I'm relatively new to FPS. But this is like the things that I've learned from like other people who are good at FPS games, right? And then also the things that I've like critically like analyzed myself. Like I do actually look at my play, and I try to think about what I can do better and everything. And I do notice like the flaws that I have. And a lot of the times when I do these talks or I make these videos that you guys will watch on YouTube, I do them for myself even. I do them for other people, obviously, because I want other people to improve with me, and I think that's like a fun part of the community. But I also do it because I know as a player, I am not the best player, and I'm just looking to improve, right? So a lot of these talks that I do are based off of problems that I have in game and things that I am trying to improve, right? So by no means am I the best player, and this might not even be the best advice to improve. However, these are the ways that I look at it and the ways that I try to improve, right? You can do flick training, though. Flick training definitely does help at times, right? Because you will have situations where every now and then your crosshair is off and you'll have to flick between those targets. And I will say that flick training has definitely improved my aim. Sometimes I'll just land nasty flicks. I got one earlier. Here, let me find this. Let me find it. It was really funny, actually. Hold on. Was this in a game with Waffles? I don't actually remember who this is for. I have a folder where I just save all my good clips. Right here, this poor guy, dude. Hold on. I always love my reaction to these things too. This poor freaking guy, dude. Why does the game only have 3 maps and they're all bad? It has 4 maps, and all the maps I think are pretty good, actually. I think that Bind's really good. I think that Ascent is really good. And I actually really like Split. I don't love Haven right now. I don't think Haven's amazing, but I think that I actually genuinely like most of the maps in the game. I get frustrated on Haven. I don't hate Haven. I don't know exactly what it is I don't like about it. It's not the 3 bomb sites. I don't think the 3 bomb sites is bad. I think I actually kind of like the middle of the map too. The middle is a little janky, but I like it. I think my problem with it is the A. I think the pushing out of sewers on A just feels so scary to me. Getting out of sewers on A, it just feels so rough. There's so many freaking corners that anybody can hide in that area. And not only that, but when you exit it, the elevation of it, like, so Jordan likes to hide on top of that spot next to the box. He'll stand on top of the double boxes. It's just, it feels so janky to me to get out of sewers. So you have to push through long, it feels like. In my experience, anyway. I need to push through long. One Sova arrow can fix that. One Sova drone can fix that. Not one Sova arrow, though. You can't just arrow into it. I have one for that. But I don't know. One Sova arrow onto sight, I guess, can fix it. One Sova drone can get through the sewers, I guess. I don't know. It feels so janky, dude. I don't like it. So I use Omen Smokes to take one corner at a time. Maybe it's because I'm not playing in a competitive team, though. That's easily it, right? I'm playing in unrateds and like just with like close friends and stuff. We don't have like an actual team comp that's like sorted out. A lot of the times we won't have Sovas on our team who know what they're doing. And Sova's a very necessary hero for like weeding out those corners and stuff like that. Like Sova's utility is incredibly good for things like that. And I rarely play with Sovas. Jordan plays Sova every now and then. But yeah, it's hard to push anything like that without clearing it out. And as Omen, you don't really that's not really his purpose as a character, right? He can use the smokes to help deal with the sight, but like as far as clearing sewers, it's like difficult to do as Omen. I was a Sova main for 2 good months. I have a video for him. Sova's awesome. I like Sova a lot. He's a really strong character, really underutilized too, at least in like normal play. I use Omen Smokes to take one corner at a time. Omen Smokes definitely help. Will you solo queue in ranked or play with Waffles and Jordan? I'm probably gonna play with friends and stuff. I tried to solo in beta and I just got really frustrated, right? Like I think that you could definitely argue that like solo players are like, oh, you're a better player, but I don't think like for the purpose of my ego, I need to like play solos anymore. I tried to do it for a while and I was like, I hit plat 2 in solos. Pretty much like I played with other people every now and then, but for the most part I was playing solo when I hit plat 2 and I felt like pretty good about that. I don't know, I think I trade off like feeling good about myself and hitting like diamond or hitting immortal for just like actually enjoying the game and playing with friends, you know. It's just like I definitely did not enjoy the game as much when I played it alone. It was a lot more frustrating. It was a lot more of a grind and I didn't feel as rewarded, right? Even the Deads have said that they want people to play as a team. Well, I mean, it's a team game, right? And there's a lot of strength in being able to queue alone and being able to work with a team. But queuing into games and just having nobody communicate or people get frustrated with each other, it's like, I'm going to play with friends. I'm going to play with friends and I'm going to play with people that like I know I'm comfortable and I have fun playing with.